What is up, guys? Today we have another 151 video. This time we are comparing the English version to the Japanese version. I mean, 151 is the talk of the town, really. Everything pretty much boomed 100% in the last month, 2 months, whatever. So here on screen, we're at Pokedata.io. This is so you can see the set value. So as you can see, the English set value has 2,400. And make note that there's 360 total cards in here and the top 5 cards. All right, screenshot that with your brain. Head on over to Pokedata.io. This one's for the Japanese version. Screenshot that for the top 5. Little different, isn't it? Well, just keep a note of that. All right, so our total value here is 3,500. But look at the difference in cards. My friends, there's one simple answer to that. These two Master Ball Hollows. I remember when 151 came out, everybody was saying the Japanese version was so much better because of these Master Ball Hollows. It was a big miss that we didn't get them in English. And yeah, I do kind of agree. Big miss we didn't get them in English. We're going to take a look at some of those. We're going to take a look at the top 5 from each and just kind of talk about them. So as you can already see, the set value is about $1,100 higher for the Japanese version. And I mean, you could have had the Japanese version for like 50 bucks, the booster boxes for like 50 bucks. Now they're going to cost you like 300. We're going to take a look at that as well. And I mean, even up until maybe 6 months ago, you would have been able to have them for like 100 bucks, 120 bucks, maybe 140, 150-ish, something in that range. Somewhere between 120 and like 150 was readily available until right about 6 months ago when 151 started blowing up. So let's take a peek at the English. So as everybody knows, the ETB blew up basically $650. Everybody knows Booster Bundle blew up basically 195. We can just round up and call that 200. So now we're going to look at the top singles. We've got the Charizard, the Blastoise, the Venusaur, the Charmander, and I think I threw the Zapdos in for English. So this Charizard over the course of the last 3 months is up 70%. I did say, hey, look, guys, if you missed the boat, you missed the boat. Be ready for the pullback. Here's the pullback. $433. Definitely not $250. That's for sure. So take a look at the Blastoise. As you can see, Blastoise. Oh, I also want to say, take note of how much quantity is available. All of these, I'm pretty sure, over like 140. Same thing with the Blastoise, though, up 152% on the 3-month chart. We can look, hit a high of 226, leveling out about 174. Definitely a lot higher than 70, definitely a lot higher than 100. Looking at the Venusaur, 122 available, as you can see on screen, up 100% on the year. And it's still pretty close to all-time highs. All-time highs like 160. We're sitting right about 150. Definitely a lot higher than that 80. Zapdos, beautiful card. 135 available. Up 91% on the year. Was up to $143. And we're down to 124. Now we have the Mew promo. There's a reason I'm talking about this. 168 available. Up 62% on the 3-month chart. Hit $80. We're right about $80 still. And there's another reason we have the Mewtwo in here. Don't worry. The Batman Mewtwo sitting with 146 available, still pulling back as well. Reached a high about $48. Right close to $40 now. Now, let's take a look at the Japanese booster box. We are at 300 bucks with 200 available. Let's take a note. There is almost 4,900 available booster bundles, and there's 80 available ETBs. I'm not really gonna talk too much about that. That's not really that important. Now we can take a look at some of the top cards from the Japanese. Take a quick mental note of that. Now we're gonna talk about the Japanese Charizard. There is 6 of these available. And 3 months ago it was $248. We're up to about $300, only about a 20% gain on the month. But there is 6 of these available. You can see the lowest listed is $400, and that guy has 87%. The next lowest is $450. So you literally need one person to buy that sketchy guy, and you're basically at a $450 card, which is basically the same price as English. Let's take a look at the Blastoise. As you can see, Blastoise, similar, 61% on the year, was at $82, which is basically the same price as the Blastoise. We're at $133. Eight. There are eight of these available. Once this guy sells his one for 150, you're at basically 160. Basically the same price, if not more expensive than the English version. Let's take a look at the Venusaur. There are 15 of these available, up 38% on the month. $80. Boom. It's 110. Lowest list is $135. Take a look at the Zapdos. Like there's that little quantity available. Seven. Remember all of the English ones were over 100 available? This was sitting at 70 bucks. We're up to $77. We're only up 10% on the month. But the lowest list is 95. So the next sales are going to be $95 unless, somebody lists a bunch of these out of the blue and, crash the market on them, which I can't see if there's seven available from seven sellers. I mean, you guys can do the mental math here. Now, let's take a look at the Master Balls. This is the Gengar one, the most expensive. There is one available from one seller. Up 20% in the last 3 months, 275. Lowest listed is $1,000 for a PSA 10. So there's not even a raw one available. Let's take a look at the Pikachu. Yes, this is the Pikachu Master Ball. Three available. Up 6% on the month because it literally doesn't sell. Because guess what? There's like nothing available. $235. Now, this is the reason I had the Mew in there. The Mew in English is a UPC promo. This in Japanese, it was an SAR, which is basically the equivalent of an SIR. You're guaranteed, I believe, one per box. No, you're guaranteed one Master Ball per box of 151. I'm not sure about the SARs, but that makes the English version a lot easier to find than the Japanese version. And if you take a look, Japanese version's down on the last 3 months. It was up to 150, but we're rebounding quite well. There's 9 of these available from 9 different sellers. Your lowest listed is 142, and that goes up pretty fast. Look, there's 150. These are all lightly played. Let me look at near mints here, actually. I don't know why it wasn't already on near mint. My bad. So near mint, there's 4 available. The lowest listed is somebody with no sales, so we're not even going to talk about him. Lowest listed is 160. You want a reputable seller, you're looking at 225. And what was this in English? 80 bucks. Let's take a look at Batman Mewtwo. Now, Batman Mewtwo is only an illustration rare or an art rare in Japanese, so definitely a lot easier to hit. And that's why we don't really see the same correlation as the Mew, because the Mew is a lot harder card to hit. These are both promos in English. We're sitting at right about $20, and there's 45 of these available. So that goes to show you the difference between an SIR and an AR in Japanese. And your lowest listed is at $20. So does this mean that Japanese sets are garbage? I don't think so. I mean, this proved that these Japanese cards are scarce. This shows that, yeah, I mean, they might not move a whole lot, but you only need a couple to move it, and then market just explodes. The Japanese booster boxes are up to 300 bucks for 20 packs. So, can you invest in Japanese Pokemon? Unlike all the other popular content creators that say, no, I don't do that. No, it's too volatile. If you know what you're doing, if you know what sets you're looking at, you absolutely 100% can invest in Japanese. Look at this $3,500 set value. What do most people look at when they're talking about investable sets? Set value. Well, it's worth more in Japanese than it is in English. Well, a lot of the cards are pretty similar in value. And you know what? You also have Gengar Master Ball Hollow, Pikachu Master Ball Hollow, which are 100. It adds an extra $140 and almost $300 cards. That Mew promo was part of the set, so that's another $140. Look, you have all these extra Master Ball Hollows. Look, Dragonite's an extra $50 card, Haunter's another $40 card, and you only get one per box. So if you want to collect them all, you got to open a lot of boxes, or that's a lot of money. I'm still going down, and some of these aren't even that. Like Arcanine's $28, Charmander's 25. Like, look at all of these Master Ball Hollows that are worth a lot. Even the Gold Mew promo from the UPC is $20, and you have to pull that. I mean, I can just keep going. All these Master Balls just add so much value to the set. As a matter of fact, it adds like $1,100 to the set. I mean, even Weedle is a $13 card. Metapod's a $12 card. Like, we can just keep going. Oh, by the way, Snorlax isn't a promo. Snorlax is part of the part of the set. You have to pull that as well. But I believe that's just an illustration rare. But as you can see, like even the not as popular cards are still $10 a card because you only get one per box. So next time somebody tells you Japanese Pokemon isn't investable, laugh at them because they're lying. But at that same time, I will tell you, you got to know what you're doing. If you bought like what was it, Wild Force or whatever, like yeah, you're still up, but not a whole lot. Those sets were garbage. There was nothing good about them, no demand, nothing. And even the English versions you can see are outpaced by better, more popular sets like Destined Rivals, Paldea Evolve, um, Black Bolt, White Flare. All these more popular sets are doing way better than those early sets because they're just not that popular. They don't have big set values. They don't have big chase cards. And even if you look at the Japanese versions of Black Bolt, White Flare, they're called the same thing, but they're really expensive. Like really expensive. They're like $150 a booster box right now. That is incredible because you could have bought them for what, 65, $75 a box at one point. So yeah, you absolutely can invest in Japanese Pokemon. You just got to be careful. You just got to know what you're doing. Be methodical and just really analyze sets, really think about it. Like, what does this have that others don't? Is there demand for this? Ask yourselves those questions. Look at set value of the English counterpart and the Japanese counterpart and just do your due diligence. If you guys like the video, I would definitely do a Black Bolt to Black Bolt, a White Flare to White Flare videos. Just for me to see, to kind of gauge, like, hey, how are these sets doing compared to each other? And make sure that my thesis makes sense with those sets as well. And I'd obviously put that out for you guys. But if you like the video, go down to the video description. You can join the Discord. You can shop my website. I do sell Japanese Pokemon. I sell English Pokemon when I got it. Join the email list. I will send you an email when I have product to drop. And if you're on social media, head to my bio, hit that link tree. All my links are there. That's all I got for you guys. This is Max Pax, dipping out.